Hi everyone, so welcome back. Okay, so we've added the logo, we've corrected a couple of things on the model. All that's missing right now is a little bit of texturing. So now you can get textures from anywhere really. There's a lot of websites out there. Just to give you guys a little bit of an insight, a website that I know about is the 3D Textures website, or 3D Textures Me. So if you go here, you can download a lot of these textures, and a lot of them are for free. And you can read the license for these. So all textures on this are licensed as a CCO, so that gives you creative rights to it, so you can use it for creative purposes. But also at the same time, you can go to the Substance 3D assets. So Substance 3D Assets has a list of free assets. So these are all the free ones. So you can pick and choose any of these textures and materials that you like. And obviously there's also the Polyhaven. Everybody knows about this site, particularly for their HDRIs, but they also have a lot of interesting materials and assets. So there's 3 of them there that you can go and choose the particular texture that you like. For this project, what we want to do is we want to try to match this color to this particular item. And the way we're going to do that is essentially we're not going to apply any materials from other websites, but we're going to build our own. So first things first, let's go into the body of the speaker. So we're going to double click that. And as you can see here, right, we have a color, but there's nothing coming into there. So there's no color as such. So if you go ahead and hit color, you can add a color node, right, and feed that into the color as material, which is basically the same one. So you're just feeding a color into it. So now here, from here, you can just basically select any color you like. Now, if we go back to our speaker, and if we hit this particular icon, and then we click on the actual speaker itself, you're going to get approximately the same color coming through. Now, it's not exactly correct, so we can always adjust that, which is fine. So what we're going to do is we're just going to basically try to find or match it as close as possible to this. So we're just going to look at trying to change the settings here to make sure that we're getting it as close as possible to what it is that we're after. So it takes a little bit of effort. What you can do is you can grab the wheel as well and just move it around a little bit. So as you can see, as you're moving it, you can adjust it as you wish. But yeah, let me try to nail it or get as close as possible. So by using this, I'm getting it as close as possible to what it is on the screen. So it's picking up the screen colors. But yeah, so yeah, I think I've got it really close. It's not quite right, but it's close to what it is that I want. So I can sort of adjust it a little bit more darker, for example, and yeah, until I feel that I've got it right where I need it. So yeah, so this is how you can sort of adjust the color. That's a bit too pink. That's probably closer to what I want. And now just close that window, and there you have it. So if I bring the other speaker, so it's very close to what it is that the colors that I need. So there's the material there, the body of the material. Now what I want to do is I want to go to the top material. Now notice how in the top material we don't have a color at all. So I'm just going to add a color node. And I'm going to feed it into the color of the RS material. I left that deliberately open so that we can actually do this exercise. So now what I want to do is I want to collect the color from here, which is here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to double click, and I'm just basically going to get these settings that are right here and just transfer them across so that I can reuse them. Okay, So let me go ahead and do that. I can just, or I can simply use the little pencil thing and shine it above or on the actual screen itself. So let's go over here. Oh, let's bring the screen down a little bit. And again, very close. So the point of it is that you don't want it to be mismatching, so you want it to be extremely exact. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to type in these HSV numbers across, and I believe that that should help it. Or you can go straight to the hash and pick up the hash value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the material, go to the hash value, copy that, go to the other material, go to the hash value and paste it. Okay, so now they're the same. So they'll do the same thing for the grid as well. So it's going to go to the grid. Notice there's no color node, so I'm going to give it a color node. Now you don't need to go give it a color node. You can go straight in and just adjust it here, but I like to have it as a separate item in case I wish to change it later on. So I go here, I still have it in my cache, so I should be able to color it like that. And there you have it. Now the Sonos sign is there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically add another, well, we could add another material, but what I would like to do is apply the signage, the same signage. But what I want to do is do a copy of this one because I'm going to give it a bit more of a gloss. So I'm just going to rename this logo, and I'm going to go into the properties of this material, and I'm going to give it a bit of reflection. So there, okay. Now I don't want to go super extreme, not on this side. It's just a little bit of a reflection, so it distinguishes itself from the rest of the body of the speaker. So I'm just going to go grab this, find my my text. Let's just delete that. So the extrude is where you want to place it, right? So you want to place the glossy one. So let me remove that one there. So now you can see that it's a little bit different than the rest of the body. Now you can adjust that with a few more light things, like actually just give it a bit more reflection until you feel that you have. Let me just make sure that I'm actually adjusting the correct one. So I'm adjusting this one, yes. Okay, great. And the roughness is 0. And there. Okay, so that should be enough. We can play around with some of these other settings as well if you wish to, but essentially the key here is that I want it to be differentiating itself from the rest of the body. So that's it. So that's enough of the textures. What you can do now is you can create many different versions of this, create 3 of them or 4 of them and add them in a row and work your way through it. But for now, let's also add the plane. Where is it? There it is. Okay. All right, guys, so I've got a bit of shadow happening here and all the lights are there. So we are almost done with modeling the Sonos speaker. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. There we have it. Okay, folks, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.